G'day everyone, meteorologist Mark Molnar here. Hope everybody's having a good day. Thanks for joining me for this edition of MeteoMark's Weather. Yes, we have some interesting things to talk about. I was telling you last weather segment, the European model's holding on to something actually potentially developing out here. We're going to take a look at this closer to see, if this is showing up on any of the models. It is still showing up pretty formidably here on the European model towards the 24th into the 25th. We'll see if this could potentially be our next named tropical system. And we're going Pacific side here to the tropics. We could be looking at a tropical storm Kelvin bearing down on the big island of Hawaii by Wednesday. We'll take a look at the impacts there. And a big-time typhoon developing here into the western Pacific. It seems like both major models are kind of honing in on a solution here. And do we have a weather pattern change coming for the east anytime soon? Is August going to be drier and warmer across the east? Is this trough going to kick out? We'll get into all the details in this edition of MeteoMark's Weather. Let's get into it. And before we continue, just don't forget to smash that like button, question, or comment down below to keep our weather conversation going. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps us grow. And the bell notification is to alert you when I come out with one of these videos. And don't forget, share the video with all your friends and family. Let's get the word out, everybody. That really does make a difference. Let's take a look at your satellite view here across the Atlantic. There's Tropical Storm Don, and there is our big area of interest we're going to be looking at as this heads west, the big old Cape Verde wave. So as we take a look at the European model here, let's see what we got going on. We got Tropical Storm Don here. This system is going to continue to dance around here in a circle, and it essentially, as we head towards the 21st, here it is, the 22nd. Here's that area of high pressure just to the west of the Azores. That's going to be coming up just to the east of Newfoundland here. And yeah, at this point, I don't think there'll be very much impact. It looks like it's actually going to move off to the northeast come the 23rd into the 24th and just get caught into the westerlies. Now, the rest of the tropics here, look what's going on here. Yeah, the European model is still holding on to these Cape Verde waves. Let's put this into motion. Here's the 19th into the 20th. You can see we have some areas of, intertropical convergence zone here. And we'll continue to watch these areas come off the African coastline here. And as we continue to go in time here, you can see we kind of have a spin up here towards the 21st. This is the first evidence of something actually happening. There's that area of high pressure building to the north. And as we continue in time, let's actually see what's going to happen with this system. So yeah, it does kind of fade a little bit. It's still here. It's pretty formidable for a wave come the 23rd here. So it's going to be battling some dust and some dry air. That's going to be the main concern with this system. But look at this. It becomes more formidable towards the 24th here as it starts to approach the Lesser Antilles. So by this time, the European model's kind of hinting we may be onto something here. We have a little bit of time to watch this, so we'll continue to watch it. It does start to flare up here towards the 25th. Here's the 25th at 8 a.m., and you can see into the 26th. Look at it. It's bringing some pretty heavy rains here to the Caribbean islands. And it looks like it tends to flare up later in the night, early in the morning here as this continues westward. Will this actually bring some rain to the Western Caribbean? Well, it looks like it might to places like Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and eventually could this actually make it to the Gulf? We'll see here. Taking a look at the Atlantic here, what do we have going on the GFS? Well, we're just following behind on the footsteps of the European model here. And as you can see, the intertropical convergence zone stays pretty active out there. Is the GFS kind of holding on to this fact of what the Euro is? Well, look at this. Yeah, it's a little bit different than the European model. This little flare up here to the east is occurring a little bit later and a little bit weaker and further south. So by the 24th, we're actually looking at a system here moving through the Lesser Antilles. So as we continue to go out in time, that affects, Puerto Rico area up to Hispaniola towards the 27th and 28th. And then look at this. As we continue in time, our last frame, it does bring some beneficial rains here to the Cayman Islands, Jamaica, and parts of Latin America. Anything else on the horizon? Well, yeah, there's going to be some big waves here coming off the Cape Verde Islands, just south of the Cape Verde Islands off the African coast. So as we're taking a look at Tropical Storm Kelvin here, it is closing in on the big island of Hawaii here. Yes, we're going to see some problems with this system. We're going to see tropical storm force winds continue to pummel especially the southern part of the big island here towards early morning hours of Wednesday. So it's going to bring some very heavy rain as well. I'll take a look at the rainfall amounts momentarily here, but take a look how quickly it does move to the west. So yeah, this thing will be packing about 55 mile per hour winds as this passes just to the south. And will this actually regenerate here into the western Pacific for that matter? Well, it remains to be seen. We'll keep an eye on it here. And just following here with the GFS as it approaches the Big Island of Hawaii, take a look at this. So yeah, it's a pretty similar path here, bringing some very heavy rains and winds here to the Big Island. Watch out. Definitely some life-threatening mudslides here. The good news is this will be moving rapidly towards the west here. Is there anything else going on in the Eastern Pacific? Well, surprisingly with an El Nino, it's actually pretty quiet until we get to about the 27th. We have this little flare-up here off the coast of Mexico. Yeah, it is pretty far out. A lot can change, but that's just to the west of Puerto Vallarta, there by the 29th, heading on into the 30th. So, yeah, keep an eye on it. We continue to remain active, but a little bit below average for El Nino. So, dry air analysis at mid-layers. Now, this is going to give us a good idea. This is the associated with the Saharan dust here. That's going to inhibit any tropical development. You see the Gulf of Mexico has been very dry at mid-layers as well. But you see this big moist flow here. This is the intertropical convergence zone. There's our low essentially trying to form here as towards the 21st, as the European continues to hold on to this area of low pressure. It is on the southern part of this mid-layer dust, though. So that would be the only thing keeping this from developing. It does flare it up here as far as moisture towards the 24th here. So this actually could have the potential to develop either into tropical depression or tropical storm by this time. You see this big old area of high pressure? Yeah, looking along the southern periphery of this high pressure, this is where the dust is. And since we're seeing, if we were not seeing this dust, we would see tremendous development because we're seeing such high sea surface temperatures for this time of year. But you see, it is keeping its big ball of moisture here. And as long as it continues that central core, it eventually will make it through the Caribbean. Whether it survives through the Caribbean or not remains to be seen, because you see, look, what's following it there is a big layer of mid-level dry air. So with Tropical Storm Kelvin, what is the rainfall looking like? Here's the European model showing upwards. Here it is. There's some of the darker purples, especially on the southeast corner of the Big Island, getting upwards of 5 to 6 inches of rainfall. So as we take a look at total liquid equivalent precipitation, we're just going to take us through, the next 90 hours here. Take us through the first part of the weekend. Only a little bit of rain here in the eastern tip of Jamaica. You could see upwards of 40 to 50 millimeters. Other areas anywhere from 6 to about 10 millimeters. Western Cayman Islands could see upwards of 45, close to 50 millimeters of rainfall. And there's coastal Belize up towards 60 millimeters. And Lesser Antilles, Eastern Caribbean Islands up to Puerto Rico. Look at this. Yeah, so Thursday, we get upwards of, 40 to 60 millimeters down towards Trinidad, Tobago, and parts of Grenada here. So, essentially through Saturday here, it's pretty dry here in the Northern Caribbean Islands. It's after this when our tropical wave early next week really spreads a lot of rainfall. And here in the Western Pacific, what do we have going on? Well, we got this next system towards the 20th that we're going to be keeping an eye on here east of the Philippines. Had a lot of rain here happening in the Western Pacific. It's almost like monsoon kicking in. But look at this. We head towards the 22nd into the 23rd. I think there's a distinct possibility we may have our next tropical storm, even typhoon here. And unfortunately, it looks like it has its eyes here on the European model on the northern Philippines by the 24th. So please stay tuned for this. This is not looking good. This area of high pressure helping to push this system towards the west. And look how it starts to recurve a little bit, passing just south of Taiwan at this point. And look at this. It's actually heading towards South China again. It seems like we're getting into a broken record of these systems plowing right into the South Chinese coastline here towards the 27th into the 28th. Doesn't look like there's too much other activity until we head back to the east of the Philippines here. And as we head to the Western Pacific, what's the GFS showing? Is it showing a similar thing here than the Euro? Well, actually, it's a little bit stronger and further to the north with this potential typhoon. Look at this. This is by the 24th. Yeah, with the stronger system, you're going to tend to veer it. I'm kind of going more with the Euro. Unfortunately, it brings it towards the northern part of the Philippines. But the GFS is more optimistic here with the Philippines, strengthening it much rapidly and heading east of Taiwan as well, keeping this a very strong typhoon. Look at this, by the 26th, we're actually closing in on eastern China and South Korea. Look at this. Wow. If this does pan out, this would be quite devastating. It's passing just between Shanghai and South Korea here and heading right up into North Korea, it looks like, and affecting parts of South Korea as well. So if this does turn out, that would be, I mean, we've already had lots of flooding there in Korea, so definitely going to bring some moisture there into southern Japan as well. As we continue to go further out here, not too much else to talk about. So your HRRR, your future radar here. Let's take a look as we head on into your Wednesday. So yeah, Tuesday night into Wednesday here. Take a look what's going on. This is a big old thunderstorm line there across parts of the mid-Mississippi River Valley entering the Ohio River Valley. We have a few showers and thunderstorms dotted across the Appalachians here. Florida's looking a bit drier as well. But look at this, as we had in time, let's just move it out a little bit here. Thankfully, the weather pattern, with the exception here for parts of the deep south where we could have some strong thunderstorms in this area, the conditions actually look a little better now as we head towards the afternoon on Wednesday afternoon, the 19th. This is where we start to get into some stronger gully washers here, showers and thunderstorms, flash flood potential, maybe some damaging wind, large hail towards the Philadelphia area towards 2 p.m. Wednesday. And that heads to New York City. Look at this, towards 4 p.m. on Wednesday, back towards east of Harrisburg as well. Heading another round towards the evening commute here for Philadelphia. Showers and thunderstorms spreading up towards Connecticut and Rhode Island as well. Look at the Carolinas. You are no stranger this year to tremendous amounts of rainfall, showers and thunderstorms across the Carolinas, and this just going to continue. Could have some big-time thunderstorms here back in the plains, but look at this as we head in time. We start to lose the daytime heating. We start to lose most of these showers and thunderstorms, although some of them will be continuing on into Wednesday evening. Look at Harrisburg area. They're starting to fizzle out there. As we continue into the overnight hours, you can see pretty much fizzling out for the most part. And then we kind of fast forwarded to 10 a.m. on Thursday morning. Take a look at this. So yeah, we're going to continue to have these mesoscale convective complexes drop out of the Kentucky area, the Tennessee River Valley, these areas, and head towards the Carolinas. I know you just love that, don't you, Carolinas? Just getting so much rain this year. It just seems like a broken record for you. Hopefully we can get some dry weather for you soon. But look at this towards Thursday. This is at noon. Some big-time thunderstorms closing in on both Cleveland and Cincinnati here. Just kind of missing Cincinnati just to the south, but don't focus on any one point because this is just a generalized area of where these could actually be. And you could actually have some very big-time thunderstorms in and around the Cleveland-Akron area and down just south of Cincinnati here in Columbus. So please keep an eye on these. This could be a big severe weather day for you as well. Before we continue, don't go anywhere. I have a lot more weather for you. Here is a quick announcement from my affiliate. I am proud to announce that I am now an affiliate with Trilogy Maps. TrilogyMaps.com, bringing you the most digital, customizable maps found nowhere else on the internet. These maps are simply stunning. It's an advanced layering system that makes these maps great for making forecast maps with ease or any other maps that you would like to display important information on. The resolution on these maps is simply amazing. From the detail of everything here in the States, and you can also create stunning, digital, professional layered maps from also across the entire world. And don't forget, in checkout, the discount code option, use my code, MeteoMark, hit apply, and you will get 20% off your order. So if you want the most professional, customizable, and affordable weather maps found nowhere else on the internet, look no further than TrilogyMaps.com. Link in the description down below along with your discount code. So as we go with our upper air height anomalies here, we'll start off with the European and transition to the CFS as we run off here. So yeah, as we head throughout the rest of this week, you can see the trough becoming very evident as we head towards the end of this week, the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. So we're not getting rid of this anytime soon, and you see there's another one waiting here. The big old blocking up towards Greenland. It looks like a wintertime pattern. As we head into next week, look at towards the 26th, 27th. This is what I was talking about. We'll follow through here with the CFS. Look at the ridge to start off, as we get closer to August. All right, picking up where the European left off here. Take a look at this towards the end of the month. Yeah, we're kind of kicking that trough in, but look at this. We do get a period of ridge from the 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st, all the way through about August 2nd or 3rd, and then we start to kick another trough here over eastern Canada, starts to come down and become entrenched towards Monday. So don't pay too much attention to this. It does mean there'll be probably a trough in the region. This looks more indicative of a nor'easter type trough developing. Not sure I'm buying that strong of a trough there in August, but it does mean conditions will remain unsettled at that point. But look at this towards August 13th, 14th, and 15th. We got some good news here. A ridge starting to develop in the vicinity of the East Coast. The only thing is these ridges this time of year, you do have to watch for tropical systems. They might be pushed further westward into the Gulf of Mexico. But look at this. By the 19th of August, we're staying good with a ridge. So as we head on with the European model here, this is right Thursday. Let me just take it one step backward here. There we go. See the Ohio Valley? Thursday, mid to late afternoon, right around noon to up to like 4 or 5 o'clock. I'm very concerned about you. That moves into western Pennsylvania, western New York, Kentucky, West Virginia during the evening hours. And we kind of move this towards the I-81 corridor towards Friday morning. So this upper level low, it is packing a punch here associated with this trough. And as we continue to go in time, Friday, look at this, towards the weekend, yeah, this is kind of camping out here across southeast Canada. This is good news for the rain up here. Bad news for parts of the northeast because it keeps it showery. But you know what? It actually is going to move out, which is great. Look at that Sunday, moving up into the Canadian Maritimes here and up another low up towards Hudson Bay here. As we continue to go in time, we got high pressure building into the southeast, but you know what? It's not much of a high pressure system because look at on the back side of it. It's bringing moisture into the panhandle of Florida here and parts of the Outer Banks of North Carolina. You're no stranger to those showers and thunderstorms in the Carolinas as we head towards Tuesday the 25th. Look what's going on here. Once again, severe weather across parts of Ohio into the eastern lakes here, upstate New York. Let's back that up one frame. Look at Wednesday, Tuesday night into Wednesday, showers and thunderstorms. Look at it, does get dry though. We actually have a dry high pressure system kicking in towards Thursday the 27th. Don't get too used to it though, because it's likely, you know, we have some storms here that are going to be heading down the pike here. So eventually we'll kick some moisture here on the backside of that high pressure system. So your rainfall amounts here, let's take a look. We'll head towards Wednesday. There's Thursday. Look at that. Yeah, Friday. So Thursday, the Ohio Valley gets hit with like an inch to an inch and a half of rain there. And then we rack it up into parts of upstate New York, Pennsylvania. The Tennessee River Valley there, really, Tennessee Valley heading off with, the winner here for rainfall. Look at that as we go towards, all the way through Friday, July 28th. So yeah, this whole corridor here, unfortunately, we're going to continue to pick up all this tropical moisture and move it off to the north and eventually the east. I do want to make note of something here. There is some good news. You actually do need this kind of rain up here in Canada. And look at all the way back towards Alberta, British Columbia. These areas definitely need the rainfall. And zooming in on the northeast for all my northeast viewers, there's Wednesday into Thursday. So Wednesday, yeah, look at that. That's left over from mostly Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. Here is Thursday. Yeah, there it is, Ohio. Anywhere from a 3/4 to 1 1/4 inches here across Ohio. So yeah, Thursday is going to be your big day. And then we start to pile it on here Thursday night to Friday morning across New York and Pennsylvania. We'll average 3/4 to up to 1 inch. But look at this. Caution to the wind here. Look at that. Upwards of 2.5, 3.5 inches of rain. Don't focus on any one location. It means that some areas may locally see higher amounts to 2 to 3 inch plus. So yeah, definitely keep an eye. Next week, towards the middle of next week, we do see another surge of moisture here across the northeast. Some viewers sent in photos and videos here. Taking a look at John here from Islip, New York, coastal flash flooding and coastal flooding. Take a look at this. So yeah, this was happening here this past Sunday. Look at this. Yeah, this was the scene across much of, downstate New York, seeing tremendous amounts of rainfall, flash flooding, and coastal flooding, a big problem. And as you can see, look at that, ponding tremendously here on his roadways. Nice captures here, John. Yeah, this has definitely been a very rainy season here across much of the Northeast. Temperatures. Well, the heat wave continues. Look at this. All the way out west into parts of the South. Texas, you're baking mid to high 100s. Ridiculous. It's amazing. I know a lot of you are probably not saying it's amazing down here, but the depth of this warmth is unbelievable. Look at this. We're going to spread mid to upper 90s across parts of Georgia. Here in the Northeast, we're staying in the mid 80s for the most part. A little more temperate. And look at the Northern Plains. You're in the upper 70s. That is nice. Enjoy it. Now, we do get a little bit of surge of cooler air, if you can call it that. This is 80s. This is cooler. Still, look at that. 95, 100 there across the Gulf Coast. Just triple digits out west here. And look at that. Some cooler air. 74 towards Erie, Pennsylvania. 77 towards Cleveland. 78 towards Rochester. So as we head towards Friday into Saturday, here it is, that cooler air in the 70s continuing. But look at this. We're rapidly warming it up. Is this going to head east? Is this heat wave heading east? Well, let's take a look into Sunday. It does look like the heat dome is actually spreading to the east here. The Northeast is escaping it so far, right around 80, 85 degrees. But as we head towards our last day here, towards the 24th of July, look at this. Yeah, this is definitely evident that eventually, as we get this ridge towards the end of the month, the heat dome is going to build across the east. Extended outlook from hometown viewers being able to Scranton, Upper Susquehanna, River Valley of New York and Pennsylvania. Look at this. From Wednesday to Sunday. Yeah, Wednesday and Sunday, both dry, nice days, mid-80s. Get out there and enjoy it. It's in between Thursday and Friday. Look at this. Thursday, we have a chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly in the afternoon and evening. Maybe a tenth to a quarter of an inch locally higher into Friday. This is where you'll see more showers and thunderstorms, maybe a half to 3/4 of an inch. It's looking like outdoor plans are not well. Thursday night and Friday night look showery as well. Showers and thunderstorms likely. Saturday, there's only a chance of a shower in the afternoon, particularly after 3 p.m., heading up towards the lower 80s. So the weekend is looking a lot better. As always, thanks for joining me for this edition of MeteoMark's Weather. Don't forget to visit my link down below for my Hurricane 2023 Outlook. If you haven't visited that, I go over the entire tropical season, what I think is going to happen. Also, don't forget my Trilogy Maps link affiliate down below. Use the code MeteoMark to get 20% off your order. I do make a little bit of commission off that, so just to disclose that. So there it is, and the link's down below. At Facebook MeteoMark, you can visit me. Also, Weather Northeastern. Also, Hurricane Northeastern. It's also MeteoMark.com, Twitter @WeatherEastern. Thanks for joining me for this edition